Wow, this phone is just garbage, man. I mean, iPhone 6, are you serious? Ugh, man. Dude, I mean, it looks good, but it's just like, I don't know. I don't even like cell phones, man. I really don't. I mean, but anyways, but hey, it's a tool, and I could reach people. Like whatever I want to say, I could just post a video and boom. So I mean, it's a good tool. It's just I don't know. These phones are too smart for their own good, man. And then people, have all kinds of information in them, and you just got to be mindful of what you do, man. I mean, they got people that could literally like drive by. Um, this was on 60 Minutes, as a matter of fact, or like some kind of weird show like that. Um, these people were driving by like stores, man, with like radar guns. Like the cops have the radar guns. They were driving by stores with radar guns, hijacking credit card information just with a press of a button. This was even a few years ago, man. I mean, this isn't even something that recently happened. Just driving by, dude, just bloop. That's it. And they get hundreds and hundreds, and man, whew. I'm old school. I do cash. I don't do all that credit card stuff, man. Hey, what are you gonna do? But I'm gonna show you where it says has it's Romans 1:24 through 27. I'll read it to you. And then you could look up the one in Genesis 2, and I'm sure there's more. That's what I wanted. That's why I uploaded that other video real quick, because I was gonna actually Google and see where you could do that yourself, man. I don't need to do the homework for you. I mean, if you're that interested, just say verses about homosexuality Bible, and then search it. It'll pop right up, man. But I know for a fact there's one in Genesis, and I'm about to read one to you right now. This is again from Romans 1:24-7. It says, "So God let them go ahead and do whatever shameful things their hearts desired. As a result, they did vile and degrading things with each other's bodies." Yeah, this because I got what I did was I underlined all this stuff in like as you could see. I mean, it's like real kind of messy. So, and plus the print's kind of small too, and trying to make sense of it all, man. Degrading with each other. Instead of believing what they knew was the truth about God, they deliberately chose to believe lies. So they worshipped the things God made, but not the Creator Himself. So they just had like little false lowercase g gods. And that could be anything. I mean, literally, you can make a god out of a cell phone. Like you don't necessarily have to bow down to have something be a god. You can bow down in many ways, just not physically. You could just bow down, man. Like anything that you give your, whether it's your thought life, your physical attention, anything could be an idol. See where I left off here. This is messy, man. Instead of believing what they knew was the truth about God, they deliberately chose to believe lies. So they worshiped the things God made, but not the Creator Himself, who is to be praised forever. Amen. And then it goes on to say, that is why God abandoned them to their shameful desires. Even the women turned against the natural way to have sex, and instead indulged in sex with each other. Now this is Romans 26 through 27 I'm about to read you, or 26 through 27. Okay. It says, that is why God abandoned them to their shameful desires. Even the woman turned against the natural way to have sex, instead indulged in sex with each other. And then verse 27 says, And the men, instead of having normal sexual relationships, normal meaning man and woman. So it says, I'm going to start verse 27 over because and the men, instead of having normal sexual relationships with women, burned with lust for each other. Men did shameful things with other men, and as a result suffered within themselves the penalty they so richly deserved. So there's your couple of verses or whatever, and then even the verses on top of that, it's all right there, and then you can go to Genesis too. I got a couple of minutes. I'll try to look for it. I mean, it's right in the beginning of Genesis. I think it's in the third chapter. I'll find it. And again, look, I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm not. But society has society really has an agenda, and they don't care because society's going to hell, and they're trying to bring you there with them. And this video, I'm just trying to show you I'm not being hateful. You can sit here and think I'm being hateful if you want to. I'm not. I'm not saying your sin or whoever's sin is any greater than my sin or anyone else's sin. But it's a sin. Homosexuality is a sin. It's not natural. And I'm not going to sit here and make you feel good about your sin either. Just like I don't want somebody making me feel good about my sin. Doesn't mean that you need to tear me down, and I'm definitely not going to tear you down for it. But at the same time, I don't want somebody patting me on the back saying it's okay. You're breaking the laws of the universe. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay for the here and now, but the only thing that's standing between me and judgment is this flesh. You could clock out at any time, bro. You can get into a car accident. You can cross the street. You can. I mean, I mean, this. I knew this girl when I was she was like, I mean, a long time ago. I knew this girl, but I mean, she was 20 supposedly. I found out that she died in her sleep when she was 20. Her heart just at 20 years old, man. Like 20, really? That happens? Yeah. Death doesn't know no name, man. My cousin was driving down the street. I mean, I've had friends, and I mean, wow, like trust me, man. That's just another story. And I mean, my cousin was, a year younger than me, and he was driving down the street. Technically it was Thanksgiving Day, but it was just turned Thanksgiving Day. It was like 12 o'clock or something, 12 something, and he was coming back from somewhere, and you know, he wasn't drunk or anything. I mean, he worked for law enforcement, so I mean, I don't think the dude would sit there and be stupid like that, but you never know. But he wasn't drunk because they didn't find. I mean, I'm sure they did all that testing and whatnot. Nothing came out. So he dude was driving down the street, and all of a sudden, he was going this way, and somebody was coming towards him, and somebody, I guess it was just like a patch of ice, man, and it's things happen, and he just one minute you're there, the next minute you're gone, and that was a couple of years ago, or it was like 3 years ago. um I mean, I woke up and my cousin was gone. I mean, I wasn't that close to him, but when we were younger, we used to hang out all the time. And plus, he's still my cousin, man. I mean, I grew up with the kid, with the guy, whatever. I mean, he wasn't a kid when he died, but I grew up with him, and I mean, he was my cousin. He's my blood. He's my first cousin. He knows me. I know him. I mean, we kind of just parted ways because that's just what life does. But at the end of the day, I guarantee you, if I needed somebody, he would be there front and center, and the same thing, I'd be there for him, and that's what family is. Family doesn't necessarily mean you have to be on top of one another all the time. It's just, that's part of what family is, and he would have been there for me if I needed him. There's no doubt in my mind, because he already proved that before. He was a good dude, but that's not my point. My point is things happen, and it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. When it's your time, dude, then that's it. You know. So, I mean, society. Like back to what I was saying. I mean, society wants to sit there and enable people. You can't do that, man. You know, like you need to just, you know, there's a God up there that we all need to answer to, and it's a process. I mean, you know, to realize certain things, it's a process. I mean, you can't just up and realize things. It's a process, but you have to sit there and just take his, you know, take his accept what he did at the cross for you, you know, and let him change you from the inside out. You don't have to sit there and walk up there and be clean. You don't have to clean yourself up. You can't be clean enough for him. He has to do the cleaning for you. But this is the last video I'm doing tonight. You people have a nice night. Goodbye.